you grew up in Budapest, correct? In a very urban dwelling.
Definitely, definitely.
Was your experience there, would you say that that was the norm, or was your experience out of the norm?
In terms of city living, our living was the norm.
As far as the bread lines and standing
As far,
the
oh, yeah,
bread,
food.
yes.
Yes. That was typical for any city environments. Typical.
So.
Although we talk about food, I remember that I was frequently sent to the store to buy 2 or 3 eggs.
That's it?
That's it.
At a time?
At a time.
But daily, correct?
Not necessarily daily, maybe because there was no fridge.
No fridge, I was just going to ask. So you had no refrigeration.
No, zero fridge,
so
no
that's
hot
why you
water.
had to eat your, no hot water?
No hot water. No hot water.
Wow, so that's why you had to eat the leftovers the next day.
Correct.
Because they would keep
Yep.
long enough, but you would eat whatever the next day.
Right.
So what did a typical meal look like as far as a serving or a portion? You know, for us growing up, you could pile your plate.
Right.
And you could have a mountain on your plate, or you could have 3 things on your plate. What was a typical serving or portion like? And were you actually able to eat enough to be satisfied at night? Or did you go to bed hungry sometimes?
No, I never went hungry.
Okay.
I have to admit, I never went hungry, but that's partially because my grandparents, my mother's parents, are from a village environment. So they typically sent us every year, multiple times, they sent us potatoes.
Okay.
I ate so many good French fries.
Right.
Ugh, it was fantastic. Potatoes in any shape, way or form. So we always had, they sent a huge basket. The basket was typically around 2 feet in diameter and maybe a foot tall. It was filled with potatoes.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. They also sent us, and they sent this multiple times a year.
Okay.
So we always had potatoes.
Would your neighbors have that if...
No.
Because they didn't have family in the countryside?
Right.
Wow, okay.
Right.
So for them, what did it look like? Was there any food sharing? You know, for us, it's common to have your neighbors over and make a meal for them, or have your friends over and make a meal. Was that common over there?
I wouldn't say common. It has happened. I remember that we have invited some of our neighbors, my father's friends, but that was rare. Maybe once a quarter.
Wow, okay.
Now they came over to drink.
Because everybody had alcohol. Really? Not even the alcohol?
Not even the alcohol.
Wow, okay.
Beer, which was never cooled.
Right, because there's no refrigeration.
Not just with us, but in general, even in restaurants. They measured beer out using a 1 liter measuring means. What they typically use for milk.
Oh wow!
Yeah, because the milk came in a big, probably like a 20-gallon tank, and out of that they measured out the milk / measured out the beer.
So that would be at restaurants or at the grocery stores that they would do that?
The beer is restaurant.
Okay.
And the milk is a grocery store.
So when you say restaurant, what does that mean compared to what it means in America?
Restaurants had some limited foods, typically percoat.
I actually don't know
I
that
remember
dish.
percoat.
I don't.
Stew.
Oh, okay.
Stew, but it was always pork.
Pork, right. So, was it common to go out to restaurants, and would you mostly drink the food there?
Oh my gosh.
Or drink the beer rather than eat the food is what I meant to say.
Right, most people went to restaurant to drink.
To drink.
We went to restaurants maybe a couple of times a year, maybe.
A couple times a year?
A couple of times a year.
But you would, for food you mean?
for food.
But you would go there more frequently for
Oh yeah,
beers.
they sent me out that, hey son, here is the milk carton.
Bring it back with beer.
Bring it with beer. Literally.
Okay.
It was 2 liter,
Uh-huh.
and I think there was a little bit larger one too, maybe 3 liter one. And sometimes I had both of them, and
Oh, wow.
had to walk maybe a mile or not 2 miles, a mile, mile and a half, and go to the restaurant. They filled it up with beer, and then brought it home,
Wow.
and it was consumed
That night.
more than likely that night. More than likely that night.
I mean, if you think about it though, 2 to 3 liters of beer is actually not that much. I mean,
Depending on how many people.
I was gonna say for 2 adults, I mean.
My mother hardly drank.
Oh, okay.
My mother,
Okay.
you know, and maybe what I should say that I was sent out to get 1 milk carton worth of beer.
Okay.
But if there were some guests, we knew there were going to be some guests,
That's
like
what-
Sunday afternoon. Then I had to go out Sunday morning to get the appropriate multiple
Oh, wow.
cases of beers.
Wow. Wow, that's completely different than.
Yeah.
There's.
Yeah.
So let me ask you then about the grocery stores. Cheers.
Cheers.
Let me ask you about the grocery stores. You came here in '77. What was your first shopping experience like in the grocery store in America?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
That this rotting capitalism has that much food, because we were always taught that capitalism is in the rotting stage.
Really?
We called it, we were taught to call it, and it was commonly referred to as the rotting capitalism.
Wow.
Right.
So that was your cultural propaganda
Oh,
against
definitely.
capitalism.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
So when you first walked into the grocery store, do you remember what you felt and what you thought when you saw it? Or was it too, at this point it was too
No,
far?
I mean, I realized that they had everything. You know, there was everything to be had. The more important part was that everybody had a car,
Oh, right.
and just about everybody had a house.
Right.